Let's go in here. Okay. So adding a fireplace, what does that mean? Let me show you. So do you remember what we did for floor in here? Did you guys remember what we did for the floor? We will follow the same technique to add a fireplace, but you don't have to select both like this and this side together, because if you notice what I did here, I have just tried to align. Can you see here? I've just tried to align even the what you say the distal. I miss the word. What you call in between in here? And, yeah, mortar. Yes, I have just connected the mortar joints as well. It's like, why I can't find it or think about it. So that's, you need to work on how you will do that. Okay. So first you need to find where is your working file. Okay. So once you find the working file, okay, you will use simple. Let me just delete this so you will. I didn't select that. So anyways, so use the working file and use the magic wand, because magic wand will be easier. If you see here, I got selected in here. I will just click on shift. So you get the plus sign there. I will click on this as well. So the whole thing is selected. If you are not able to select with the magic wand, use the pen that I have showed you last time. Okay. Now I have selected that one. Okay. I will go in this part, that Enia and black and white circle. Click on that. Do the solid color, the same thing. Okay. And change the solid color and say that a fireplace or fireplace one. So, or a front wall. You just need to say it. That way you don't have to confused with multiple layers. Okay. So that's the color one. Okay. Do you remember what's the next step? We will work on adding a rectangle box so we can add materials to that, right? So now I will select a rectangle and then I will draw a rectangle over that. Okay. And I will first rename it before doing anything. So I know that fireplace, front wall. Okay. Do you guys remember what will be the next step? We will right click on it and say blending option. And if you see here the pattern overlay, you just need to click on that text pattern overlay. You will get this one in here. So you can select the one you have selected for. So, but now if you see here, when I selected, it just changed vertically because my angle is 90. Make sure you have the angle is 0. And my scale is too big for that side because the height is 17 feet and the brick looks too big for that. So I will just reduce like this few scale like that. And I will say, okay. Okay. Now I have the backdrop. I have the front one. Now we need to arrange in a perspective. Okay. So what I will do first, if you remember that, you need to change that to smart object. So make sure you select that and change to smart object. Okay. That the once you do the smart object, you need to go in image and transform, edit transform, free transform, control T or free transform. Okay. Now, once you do the control T, right click on it and say distort. Okay. Now what I will do, I will just try to arrange. If you're not sure, if you're not aligned, you can just reduce the opacity. If you see here, there is in the layer, there is opacity. You can just make it transparent. So you can align your brick with the top line there. You can just zoom in if you can't see. Just I'm trying to align my brick line, something somewhere like that. And I feel like that looks okay for me. Then if I have to change, I can just go back later and then change again. So now I just put like that. And you remember what is the next step? Do you guys remember? We need to merge both the layers. So make sure the color one is the bottom one and the texture one should be on top. But before that, just change the opacity to 100%. And I will use Alt. I will just click in between there, hover my mouse in between there. I will click on Alt. So I get an arrow and the square. When I click, it just get there. Okay. Just don't get, because already I have the finished one. So this will look like that. But now I got that one in here. And if you just want to change it, like some, just say Control T. And if you see here, you can just change it the way you want it. If you want to align like that, or if you want to change the angle, if you're not matching it, you can just say distort again, and then you can play along with that. Does that make sense? Okay. Now you will do the same thing on this side as well. Okay. Control D. Okay. So that's done. So you will do the same thing. You will select that one, add the depth, and do the same thing there as well. Okay. All good? No? So did you guys understand how to add the masking layers? Yes. The way we did for the flooring is the same technique. You will do you want me to show on this side as well? This side as well, if you want to show this side as well. This side. Yes, no. No, yes. Anyone? You good? So this is the same technique, the way we have added, okay? So now what I will show you, do you guys added the sky? Did you guys downloaded the sky image? Okay. Now what we will do in here again, let's do what I will do. I will go in my working file, and whenever you're doing it, when you have multiple layers on top, make sure your working file is all the way on top layer. So the lines you will able to see. So make sure you have all the way on top layer like that. Okay. So now I will go in working file. I will select, I'll just click on Shift, and then I'll just click on my Windows, Control Z. Maybe I'll just Shift, use my lasso tool to select. So whenever you click Shift, all the selection will be visible. That's important, okay? And then you will go solid color. Change the color. Okay, rename that as a sky. Okay, now what I will do, I will place the image directly in here, okay? So let's go in, just place link. I just, okay. File. Place embedded. Let's find the sky. Okay. Control T. Make sure that you make that smaller and pull that all the way so you can see the windows. Okay, just put like that. And if you want to rename that as a sky as well, sky 2 or whatever, sky, so you know. And make sure that's above the color. Okay. And as always, when we do add material, what we do, we convert to the smart object, right? So you will just right click on it. Let's see if you can do the convert to the smart object. Okay. And when you see the Control T and scale or distort, you should able to do that. Okay. But I will do that once I put behind the windows. Okay. So how you do that? You just need to click on Alt. And that should go behind that window. Did you guys get it? Now, I will show, do you want me to show it again? So now is the same technique. You need to remember color should be always at the bottom and the whatever image or a texture, it will be on the top. And then make sure you convert, convert to the smart object is important. And the image or the texture should be above that one. Okay. And then once you're done, Alt, just hover your mouse in between. If you see where my mouse is in between there, it's kind of hard to see there. And then if you see here, I just click on Alt, I get that arrow and box. And when I click it, my sky goes behind that windows. Okay. And then you will just do the Control T. And then if you want to distort, like distort, you want to change, Control Z. Just make sure you select the sky and then Control T and say distort. So selecting the layers, see, I can change how I can see from my window. I can just look more like that. Good. Do you want me to stop here and then help you and then show you the next step? Okay, let me just, I'm recording. Okay, so now I will show you if you have any texture selected to your cushion. Okay, so now I'll just open that. Maybe some of the texture for cushioning. I will find out where I have. See, I have a simple, the leather fabric for my couch. So I'll just open it. And I will say, edit, define pattern. I will say just for the sofa finish, whatever you want to say, you can just say that. Okay, now it's in my, now what I will do, I will make sure I will be in the working file. Whenever you have to select anything in the file, you should be in the working file. And then I will select my magic wand. And I will just select the cushion just to show you how I can do that. This is like more of a cushy. So I will just select that. Now this time I will make a new layer. Instead of adding color, can you see that plus sign in there? I will just make a plus sign and say sofa cushion. Okay. And then I will just fill with the brush. This is like a different technique. Okay. The color, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Once you do define pattern, this is the other technique, not the solid overlay. We just made a new layer. Then I will right click on it. And again, I will go in a blending option. Blending option. And this time I will go pattern overlay, select my couch there. Okay, I will just reduce down the scale because it just shows a bit on there. I'll just reduce the scale. Okay, but now I want to make sure that you have some bevel or the embossed kind of edges. So what I will do, I will click on bevel and emboss on the top here. And then I will just show the smooth technique, maybe the pillow emboss kind of thing. So it will look like a soft. And then you can just play along with this, how it should look like. I want to make it a bit small, softer, or what size it should be. And then you can just play along. I will say, okay. Now, if I just say Control D, can you guys notice here? It looks like a soft cushion, and you can add in there. Now, I just added the 3 in here, right? But what if I just select everything on that layer? So what I will do now, I will go back in working copy. Whenever you need to select, make sure you are in the working copy, okay? I will go in the working copy. I will use a magic wand and I will start, oops, Control D. I will start selecting the remaining. It just doesn't say. Okay, so I'll just select the one I can able to select, okay? And I will just go back in a sofa cushion layer. Selecting the layer is important. I'm in the sofa cushion layer. And then I will go in a paint bucket and I just paint it. Now, if you notice that Control, I'll just paint it here, Control D. Now, if you notice that, it's just took the same material and same technique because I was in the same one in there. Okay. And once you have a different chair, okay, what if you have working on the chair, you have that layer, you just, let me just show you in here, okay. I just have, let me see. Let it be. Control D. So if I select any of the chair is already there. So I will just show you here how you can copy the same layer style to other one. Okay. So what I will do, I will just select any of these in here. Control D. I have to be in again the working file. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Layers I got. So let's go in working file. Okay. And then I will select this part. Okay. I select this part. I select this part and I will make a new layer saying a chair. Okay. I did the chair one. But what I will do, I will copy the sofa cushion. So I will right click on sofa cushion and I will say copy layer style. Copy layer style. If you see here, I will say copy layer style. I will apply to the chair. I will say paste layer style. Okay. But now if you see here, there is nothing in there because I have not colored it. Okay. So I will go in here because effects got collected pattern got selected, but I need to go pull that all the way on the top. So make sure I have that able to see you. It's kind of difficult to show you. Okay. Now what I will do, I will just select the paint bucket and I will paint over it. So you can make a new layer and copy the layer style. Unless and until you paint it, it will not it. But now if you see here, you don't want the same thing. You have the cushion and everything, but you need to change the color. So you can go in blending option and then change the pattern overlay to something else. But the style will be there. The style will be similar. You can just change the pattern of that fabric and you can carry over the same. So you don't have to worry about how it will look or it doesn't look consistent. So you will have the consistent look throughout your furniture or the fabric in your rendering.